We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Newsbreak. It is Wednesday, June 14th, and I'm your host, Chris Kiefer. Remember, you can catch Newsbreak each weekday at 7 a.m. Watch us at djournal.com, Facebook, YouTube, or the Daily Journal's mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. Let's start with today's weather forecast. Today, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 90 and a low of 72 with a 20% chance of rain. The 3-day outlook calls for lots of thunderstorms. Thursday, a high of 88 and a low of 71 with an 80% chance of rain. Friday, a high of 89 and a low of 72 with a 40% chance of rain. And Saturday, a high of 91 and a low of 73 with a 60% chance of rain. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines. Tuition and fees will rise at each of Mississippi's 15 public community colleges this fall. The average cost for 2 semesters of attendance will rise 13% to $3,104. Northeast Mississippi Community College has one of the highest tuition rate increases in the state at 18.5% higher than last year. That puts the total cost of 2 semesters at Northeast at $3,202 for the 2017-18 academic year. 2 semesters of tuition will cost $2,800 at Itawamba Community College for the upcoming year. That's an increase of 7.7%. The State Health Department's Tupelo office will remain open. State Health Officer Mary Currier announced a reorganizational plan for the department late on Monday. Under it, the Tupelo Regional Office will be one of 3 that will remain open, along with Jackson and Biloxi. 5 of the regional offices will be closed, including the District 4 office in Starkville. The closings are part of an effort to deal with budget cuts imposed by the Mississippi legislature and Governor Phil Bryant. Currier said the department will save $1.5 million in administrative overhead by closing 2/3 of its district offices. Currier said the closing of the regional offices should not impact services to Mississippians, but many county-level programs will now be overseen from Jackson. Like most state agencies, the Department of Health has absorbed substantial cuts in state funding. The completion of an Itawamba County home for disabled adults took a big step forward this week with the help of dozens of volunteers. Workers with Carpenters for Christ spent 9 days helping raise the 5,000 square foot lodge that will be the heart of the community at Crossroads Ranch. Carpenters for Christ is an Alabama-based Christian nonprofit organization. At times, there were more than 80 people on site simultaneously. The bones of the structure are now in place, although it still lacks drywall and flooring. Tupelo-based nonprofit 8 Days of Hope is expected to pick up where Carpenters for Christ finished. Volunteers from that organization will arrive in July. Completion of the lodge will be a big step in the creation of a fully functioning community for adults with developmental disabilities. Plans for the ranch include a barn for animals, a walking track, a small park, and campgrounds. Several cottages will surround the lodge. And in sports, Pontotoc's first-year girls basketball coach has huge shoes to fill, but is anxious to lace them up and keep the Lady Warriors program moving forward. Kyle Hurd replaces Bill Russell, a coach with more than 600 wins and 2 state titles. Hurd said he is not focused on trying to match Russell, but that he wants to put a product on the floor that will play hard and be fun to watch. He said Russell built the program and put him in a position to succeed. Hurd is also an assistant boys basketball coach. He did not have a lot of time to work with his new players after Russell resigned late in the school year to coach at South Pontotoc. He said playing in summer tournaments has helped. The Lady Warriors have a good nucleus of returning players, including 5'9" senior forward Ty Jones. She averaged 20 points per game last season for the Class 4A Lady Warriors. Pontotoc finished 24-8 last season. That does it for Newsbreak on this Tuesday, but don't forget this show is just one of the many online offerings, courtesy of the Daily Journal, that gets you news off the page and on the go. Look for a new episode of the Memo podcast this afternoon. The podcast focuses on news and entertainment in Northeast Mississippi. You can find it in iTunes, podcast apps, or at memo.djournal.com. And each story we discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday at 7 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Wednesday.